baby brother, I'ma get it. D-World. If I ain't riding for him by the summer, then I'm tripping. Cause little bro said, big bro, you gon' get it. Couple months before he died, I keep playing back the picture. You know he goes with me. You know he goes with me. I give anything to bring my baby brother back.
So it was really important for me to do something to bring some awareness to all of the violence that is going on in the community, because for one, I have a child that is a teenager. I have a teenage son, and it's terrifying to think about the day and age that we're living in. And you know, just having, I have 2 boys, just the thought of having to be afraid and worry and be fearful of your children's lives and their safety when they walk out the door, it's very disturbing. And you know, with the recent loss of, you know, my cousin DJ and of Tyciana, so that really affected the community, and I really felt like it was time for, you know, us to come together as brand owners, business owners, as entrepreneurs, as artists, as you know, local active people in the community, to use our platform to bring some awareness, to talk to these young kids, to let them know we have to do better. You know, parents, we have to do better. We have to come together. One thing that I definitely live by having a teenage child is it takes a village. It definitely does. So, you know, if you see mine out there acting up, it takes a village. So I felt like it was important for us to not only take some time and just reflect on some of the negative things that we've been impacted by, but also how we're turning those negatives into a positive, because there's always a way to turn a negative circumstance into a positive and have some sort of a positive outcome. So people are just digging into their brands, into their, you know, their dreams and their goals, and you know, trying to live on for the future and make it better for these young kings and queens coming up. You know, let them know that you have something to look forward to, you have something to live for, you have something to aim for, and you know, you don't have to get succumbed to the things that are going on in the streets and the violence and all of the nonsense that's happening. It's time for us to take a stand, to stand together, to unify, and to do something to make a difference in the community, because it depends on us.
I wrote my first song when I was like, I think I was 6 or 7. My sisters and brothers, they used to like tease me and stuff, so I made a song. It was called Everybody Was a Friend Before Me. And being that age, I didn't understand. So I was singing a song and I was rapping a song and I was crying when I was doing it, but I didn't understand that it was actually helping me. So even every year after that, I've always like been really into music, using it as a vent, but like in specific situations. So like I lost a brother to gun violence not too long ago. He was murdered in St. Louis. I lost another brother to the prison system. Lost a lot of family members. And music has always been a way to cope with that. Some people exercise, drugs, people self-medicate, but it's just about finding a way to get through, and not even only finding a way for you to get through, it's finding a way for your community to get through, because even if someone is not directly involved with violence or someone passes away and it's not their family, it still affects them. It still affects our youth. We're being desensitized because every other day is damn near somebody getting shot or somebody getting killed, and like that messes with me. I don't even watch the news. So I guess coming together, finding what works for you, taking care of yourself, your health, we have to do better. We have to do better as a culture, and we have to do better for the little babies that's watching us every day.
As far as what the city is experiencing now, you know, I don't think it's good. I'm always wondering what's in the minds of the young people. You know, when I was young, we had a lot of big murders, but like we would have a murder and it would die down for 60 days to 90 days. Then it might be another murder and it will die down, or there'll be like a big homicide of the summer that just, you know, it would just make the whole city die down. And so I was talking to my friend. She always makes a good point. She said back in the day, there was like a neighborhood, it was like an unspoken neighborhood thing with the parents, like a big city punishment. You know, you don't want to go out, let's say something happened on Thursday, that stopped you from going out Friday. You just knew, you know, your mom or your parents or your grandparents be like, no, you're not going out. Did you hear about what just happened? You know, and it's not like that nowadays. I think, unfortunately, it's back to back to back. And when it's back to back to back, you know, it makes me think about the young people. Because we had a vigil like once a year, you know, at the school. You know, had a vigil, had like a memorial, you know, situation at the school in the auditorium. these kids nowadays in middle school and high school, they got vigils like it's nothing, you know. So it makes me wonder what the mindset is.
High school started getting to a lot of, a lot of street culture things, you know what I mean? Like, times I had to take guns to school to protect myself. You know, I seen homies get killed, I seen my cousin get killed. You know, I didn't have to run from shots, had guns put out on me, ain't there 4 times in 1 week, you know. I ain't never nothing to brag about, anything to brag about this. It's all just real, you know. I never glorify the streets, especially in my music or my life. You know, I sing too much. I lost too many homies to this. People gone 50 years and ain't even do the crime that they doing the time for, you know. I just want to tell the youth that this street stuff ain't real. You know, it's all a facade. It's all something that's made to destroy us. You know, we got to get out of here. We trapped. You know, and that's what this all is about, the revolution against poverty. That's what we fighting out here, poverty, you know. That's what got us out here ready to kill each other and destroy each other is that, you know. That's real.
When we talk about violence in the city and a lot of things that's been going on, it's more so the domestic violence that's been hurting me or touching me in such a way that it makes things like what we're speaking about today or things that we're doing here today necessary. There are a lot of young ladies who are suffering silently with regard to domestic violence, and a lot of times we don't know how to communicate with them. But if you are suffering in any way from any type of domestic violence, be it physical, be it mental, whatever is holding on to you or has that hold to you, know that there are people out here who want to help you. A lot of people in the city, including myself, we've been trying to put together some events to try to change the mindset with regard to the type of individual that's suffering in silence. A lot of times we don't think that it's someone strong or that it's someone powerful, but we don't know what's going on with people behind closed doors. And we need to know the symptoms, we need to know the attributes, we need to know the different things to look for when dealing with those circumstances so we can save more of our women, more of our young ladies. It's very hurtful to see different instances of women who are losing that battle. And of course, it's in us to do everything we can to try to stop these activities from continuing. But it starts here. So if you know anyone who is potentially having any issues, even if you don't feel like you have the strength to speak up, please do what you can to have the conversation for them to seek help. If nothing else, tap someone, let them know what you see or what you believe, and let's try to start saving lives and getting people the help that they need to get them out of these situations.
Violence in this community that affected me, it's really affected me my whole life. From seeing a lot of my peers, teenage years locked up and going through a lot of the things that they have a lot of time. Throughout the city, throughout the years, I've seen a lot of violence. As of lately, it seems like it's getting worse and it feel like they're getting younger. And these kids is killing each other. I was personally affected by the violence as well, by the death of my little brother. My baby brother, D'Angelo Jennings, 17 years old, was murdered 1/11/2018 of this year. So it's something that's directly affected me and my family. I never thought that I would even be having a conversation about losing my brother or, any of that. He was a young man, he was 17, he was a sponge, he soaked up everything, that was around him. He had a lot of ambition, we feel like he had a lot more life to live and he was suddenly taken away from us. It's been hard, but it brings me back because he one of many of our black youth that's been murdered in this community and in communities across the country. And first of all, you got to understand understand the problem to even work towards a solution. It was senseless. Like I said, I feel like he still should have been here. He had a lot of talent. He loved music. He loved sports. Like I said, he was very smart. He was a sponge. Anything that you would teach him or tell him, he would go study it and do it for himself. He wanted more. I know he wanted more. We appreciate my family now. We appreciate the way that everything was covered. The only thing is, like he just wasn't a random kid, and these events weren't just kid events. One of the things that we got to start doing as a community is, as parents and as leaders in our community, is understanding what's going on with these kids and what they're going through.
Well, growing up in this community, this has been a big part of my life.
You know, we grew up in the gang culture. Parents was from the block, you know what I mean? So it's just something that's been around us forever. First time it really affected me was when my uncle got killed. He was just coming home from work and he just got caught in the middle of a crossfire and died. Then my cousin, 2 years ago, I was coming home from the club and my cousin called me, told me her brother got killed. So my cousin got killed like 2 years ago. So it's just been something that's just a part of our lives. It's kind of crazy to say it, but it became we became kind of numb to it because it's just so normalized in our culture. Growing up, we've seen a lot of other people get killed, but it don't really affect you until somebody that you know that you love, you lose somebody that's close to you. I got friends who killed each other. You know, one of my friends killed my other friend. It's just crazy, man. It just goes on all the time. Just like January, man, one of my close friends, he lost his 17-year-old daughter, and that affected the whole community because you know it goes on, but you never really expect to see a kid leave. It's just crazy out here. Like when you wake up every day, you never know if you're gonna come back to the crib because the environment that you live in, the stuff that you go through, and the things that you have chosen to be a part of growing up. A lot of it's choice, but a lot of it's influence just because you don't really know nothing different. Yeah, violence has been a part of my life since I can remember. My dad was violent. And as a result of my mom trying to protect herself, she became violent. So it's just something that I've been around my whole life. It really didn't affect me early because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the value of life and what violence really did. So at one point in my life, I was violent. Once I started losing people and I felt how that felt, it made me change my mind about being violent and trying to do something to turn it around and stop it and stop people from thinking that that's okay.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, the Sweetie Pie. I am here because I wanted to talk about some of the negative and the positive things going on in the city. A lot of my people been doing things and got them in crazy situations. I got a lot of homies that's locked up. A lot of negative energy just surround. So me, I had to do something differently. I had to figure out a way to get the people more positive in the city. I started doing events. I started doing parties. I started in a garage. I started throwing parties in a garage just so people can get out of that negative funk, just so people can come out, have fun, and just be themselves. I thought of this event called the Local All-Star March Madness basketball game, and I had everybody in the city involved. I wanted people to come out and have fun and see that as a city we can all rock with each other, we can all support each other and still have fun at the same time. We had rappers, local artists, we had DJs, we had promoters, we had everybody, we had toddlers, babies, we had some of the dopest people in the city come out and we all came together. We had fun, basketball game. It was fun, it was dope. That actually encouraged me to keep going and keep doing it again. Seeing the city smile, after the feedback after that was crazy. It was tremendous. Like, I had to keep doing it. So I do more events in the city that involve the city so we can have something to do. We don't, if we get bored, that's how we get into trouble. So me, I'm here to give the city something to do. I do events, I do parties, we do club events, we do everything under the sun just to stay positive, just so we can just all live life and live our best life and have a good time.
What I try to do, I do a couple things. What I try to do is I try to encourage these parents. Talk to your kids, get into your kids' business, you know? Y'all might not eat traditionally at the table, but when y'all go grab something to eat, and even if it's in a car, if it's at a restaurant, stop and ask them, like, how are y'all feeling about what's happening? Because it's really connected to a lot of people. And trauma is real, you know? I try to raise, at one of my jobs, I try to raise the awareness of trauma. I try to raise the awareness of childhood trauma. It's a grant. It's called the ACT grant, and it's through Beacon. I work with kids, you know, K through 3rd, and it's, you know, it's devastating when you hear these kids express how their brother is gone or they died this way. We gotta do something about it. Another thing that I do, man, I work with dads, you know, like I work with young fathers because I feel like everybody got hype off the Black Panther movie, but a lot of people like the Black Panther movie because the young kid knew what he was gonna be. He knew he had royalty. He knew he could be a king when he was gonna grow up. So it kind of gave him the option of not doing, you know, anything else, even, you know, in a rough neighborhood. So like I work with young dads and I try to get the young dads to realize that Artie be the image of what your child could be, so that way when they come across these situations and this negativity, they got something that they got something that they can look forward to.
Currently, me and Tia Mack, we're working with one another to try to pull some women together, some powerful women within our community, to try to bring awareness to domestic violence. Look forward for some events coming. Hopefully you all will support us in our efforts. If there's anything that anybody can do to assist us, or if you know anyone who's had domestic violence issues, any women, any gentlemen who are out here who had some issues in the past, who want to make a change or make a difference, we welcome you to come to us, and let's see what we can do to win this war.
Follow my dream. Always knowing that I had a dream, knowing that I couldn't be a rapper or a producer in a jail cell or in the grave. You know, that's what kept me on my wave, in my own lane. You know what I mean? I might swerve here and there, but I know I got to get back to that. So being focused and having God and the family, and I feel like getting out of this city and getting out of that box that kept me trapped, that kept me around the homies, that kept me around the hood. You know what I mean? And I'm able to expand my mindset. That's what got me out of there. That was a positive that got me out the streets and put my mindset on something else.
I think that we need to start taking the more time and getting in our kids' business more. I don't think that we're really doing enough of that. My goal was to put myself in a position to create jobs and opportunity. That's the positive thing from this. We band together, we create things, we start building our own infrastructure, we start taking back our streets, we start bringing back the village, raise a family concept, and then we start some form of change. And it's me, it's you, it's everybody. We need everybody involved now. It ain't just a couple people. We need everybody to stand up.
I don't know, it's just, I got a lot of stuff going on. You might see me with my kids, you know, Tiny Team. I got my kids, they do music, so because I do music, it influenced them. So they do music, we do parades, we do Martin Luther King celebrations. Me, myself, I got my own label, Ball Team Music Group, and I do music all the time. I just try to be an example, you know. A lot of people, they don't really believe that it's another option, so I try to show them that it really is. So, you know, that's just what I do. I took my life and affected it, directed it. I didn't go around it. I didn't try to send somebody else to do it. I went right into the middle of it and try to be something different.